Hi there, and I can't do this, I look far too much like Dennis the Menace. That's better. So I went out to Africa this year and I also work in a UK hospital, and until now these things didn't really cross over until last week when a woman refused to let me treat her because she thought I would give her Ebola. Quick point just to clarify, I don't have Ebola. But since I've got back, the questions I've been asked about it just show a woeful ignorance of this entire continent. I've been asked questions that range from, hey, did you see any tigers whilst you were out there? To, oh, I know someone that lives out in Africa, did you visit Johannesburg? The short answer to question 1 is, wrong continent, you fucking idiot. And the answer to question number 2 is, Africa is a really big place. Here is some geography for you. The United States of America could fit into Africa nearly 4 times. And whilst in the UK here filming this video, I am about 3,000 kilometers away from the Ebola outbreak. Whilst I was in Africa, I was over 5,000 away from it. But regardless of the fact I was there nearly half a year before the outbreak, and regardless of the fact I was in the wrong freaking country, some people still seem to think I saw it, and some even think I brought it back with me. Here are some interesting facts for you. 1, if I brought Ebola back with me, I would probably be dead right now. And 2, if I did bring it back, it wouldn't really be an issue. I mean, it would suck for me because I'd be dead, but it wouldn't cause an Ebola outbreak in the United Kingdom, despite the fact some papers would try and hint that it would. Why not? Well, you're not contagious unless you're symptomatic, and if I had red eyes, a raised rash, chest pain and cough, and I was bleeding from my eyeballs, I wouldn't really be up for sharing my bodily fluids with anybody, which is the only way it can be passed on. And if I had any of these symptoms coming from a third world country with plenty of diseases that my body is not used to, I'd go straight to a hospital bed and curl myself up in a ball and try and pretend I didn't exist for long enough that maybe the Ebola in my body would cease to exist also. Ebola is a huge problem in Western Africa, but it wouldn't be if they had the funds to maintain proper healthcare. A lot of hospitals haven't got the funds to dispose of needles after they've been used, which means they end up getting used on multiple patients, which is why Ebola and HIV can spread so much through the mixing of their bodily fluids. Ebola is a terrible virus with a very high level of fatalities per diagnosis, but let's put it in perspective. It's only ever killed 2,000 people since it was first discovered. HIV killed 1.6 million people last year, which is a figure 800 times that the size of Ebola's, but that doesn't get reported on the news because if it does, then it turns into charity. But if 1.6 million people died in Britain every year, then it would be news. But people are scared of Ebola because they see it as a disease that could come for us. Whoever us is. I think world affairs news should be the most important news, not because it tells us what could be coming to us, but because it shows us that maybe the world doesn't look like this, or this. It looks like this. Poor parts of Africa aren't poor because the people are stupid or they haven't got the ability to develop, it's because they haven't got the opportunity to do so. When I worked in the hospital, they knew how to treat nearly every single patient. They just didn't have the equipment to do it. But people who live in Africa aren't stupid, they're not a lost cause. They are complex, unique people, and we need to start seeing them as people rather than this other category they've been placed under. So to conclude, I don't have Ebola, fortunately, and even if I did, it wouldn't be a big deal to the UK, but it is a big deal to the African countries where it currently is, and the only way to stop the spread is through funding better healthcare. So, yeah, thanks for watching, bye.